Thank you, Council. I'll now ask the General Manager to read the recommendations, past motions
In confidential, Council.
that was held in confidential council.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So the first resolution that was adopted by Council was that Council negotiate with Reflections Holiday Park on a short-term lease, i.e. till the end of the financial year 2025. Pro rata on the current offer, 122,500 before Council, with councillors while councillors complete due diligence. It's carried 5-4. Recommendation number 2, resolution number 2, or recommendation number 2, enable the Mayor to call an urgent meeting with the relevant ministers, Councillor Inglis to be in attendance. It's carried 6-3. Motion number 3, seek to negotiate a fair and equitable compensation package to be paid to Council for the infrastructure on Crown land, which was carried unanimously. And then the final motion, which is 6 parts, just bear with me. The Council authorise the Interim General Manager or Delegate to enter into direct negotiation and finalise the draft lease with Reflections Holiday Parks to the 30th of June 2025. Point 2, authorise Interim General Manager at the end of the successful negotiations to enter into a lease arrangement with Reflections Holiday Parks for the council-owned property Lot 2 DP 868871, 1.529 hectares of land at the Riverglade Caravan Park to the 30th of June 2025. Authorise Interim General Manager and Mayor to affix the common seal and execute all associated documentation to the lease agreement. Item point 4, upon execution of the lease, advertise information relating to the lease and licences in accordance with the Government Information Public Access Act 2009, Part 3, Division 5, Government Contracts with the Public Sector, and treat matters in the confidential report specified in Section 10A2D2 as confidential and remain confidential until Council determines otherwise. And point 6, allocate a portion of the funds received from any lease to specifically undertake a comprehensive survey of the area, including the parcel of land adjacent to Lot 2 DP 868871. And a report, I think that's an extra dash in there, isn't it? And a report be tabled.
Madam Mayor, through you, is there the opportunity for us at this point to address point number 5 and identify what is confidential and what can actually be made public, considering that it's usually the tender process and the financial side that would be commercial in confidence, but a lot of the other information would be general knowledge and publicly known already.
Advice from the General Manager?
Well, look, we did provide a redacted report to the October 17 council meeting, and I know there were some councillors had some concerns that some of the information that was still in the redacted report may have been confidential. So I think perhaps we need some guidance around what council wants to release and what they don't.
Councillor Larder?
Can I just add too that we seem to have maybe inadvertently already released confidential information in open council in relation to point 1, which was the lease offer. So I mean,
I don't think that's the case, because I think there's a public interest in knowing what the lease is going to, that's going to be accepted.
Okay, so we had the move motions. Now we want an amendment to that.
I'm just seeking clarification as to at what point can we identify what is confidential and what can
Look, I'd be inclined to adopt this motion at the time being, and perhaps we give that some further thought, and whether we want to release that information before or after the meeting with the ministers, I'm not too sure.
Councillor.
I understand what both sides is. The natives are getting restless though.
Yeah.
Out there, as I
Councillor
said earlier.
I know he's got plenty to do, but perhaps the interim general manager could prepare a document that he thought was non-contentious and circulate it to the councillors for consideration, if he's prepared to do that.
Well, not unless it's included in the recommendation,
Because the resolution states that it's.
because the resolution says it's to remain confidential.
Yeah. Councillor Thompson, can you see a way around it? I was trying to make a practical
Oh.
suggestion.
And remain confident until but it says until council determines otherwise. So
That's
that's
right.
up to us to determine.
That's right,
Correct.
but unless we
At a council
have,
meeting.
unless we actually,
Oh, at a council meeting.
Yeah, at a council resolution, that's right.
but this is why I've raised it now, whether or not we wanted to include a point and request a document be prepared that highlights the non-confidential or the issues. Let's be honest here, the community is already very much aware of what's happening. It's the financial aspects and those bargaining points that they're not aware of. But people are asking what's happening, and that's what's difficult, because we would be breaching confidentiality by discussing it openly.
I think I might just, sorry, Councillor Shorter, I
You're
might
right.
just go to the interim general manager
Oh, you're coming to me.
for a bit of advice.
I'm just looking at point 5 and
To-
to wonder whether we can include another.
Or could we
point
just,
6.
until councillors determine otherwise, not in council?
I don't think you want to do that.
I've got a suggestion.
Councillor Sheldon,
Sorry,
I just think it's a good news story. The councillor is moving on and acting on it.
that's fine, but we have to do. Can I,
Yeah,
now
so
that we've
can I
moved
ask
into
you-
open council, but we're in open council, could I not move a motion that requests the manager prepare a report that removes the confidential information so that it can be made public? So if I move that in this meeting, that report.
Well, perhaps do we do that as a separate motion to this one?
That's what I'm
Yeah, I
saying,
think
because
we
this
have
is
to do-
already passed.
that's already done.
Oh, okay.
What I'm
sorry.
So we have a new
Sorry.
motion, we have a new
No, no,
motion
no,
on
no,
the table?
We're in
Sorry.
open council now.
We're in open council, so that motion needs to be adopted in open council. We
It's
haven't-
being confidential.
It was recommended to open council. What happens when you're in confidential session is that they are recommendations to the council meeting. They're recommend, and then they have to be adopted in the council meeting.
Okay, I'd like to put forward the 6 recommendations.
That's
Or we can change it in,
And we
a
can,
point of order. I'm not sure that's correct
Yeah,
because,
we've already moved it.
because you've moved and
It's-
they've
it's-
been carried unanimously in confidential. You've reported on them in open council. There's no need to vote on them again.
It's not. But now that we're in open council, I can move the motion in open council. that
Reporting on them
Yes.
again.
Ask for a report.
okay,
Yeah,
so
so
we've
there's
got,
a-
we're
there's a
putting a
step that
new
we-
motion on the table that council,
Yeah,
That the
Council
general manager.
request the general manager.
Done very well.
Yeah, non-confidential aspects of put the report in the title of the report.
The
Sounds very.
4.1.
Riverglade Caravan Park lease agreement. Lot 2. DP 86871 dash Reflections Holiday Park. I'll move that.
to come to council,
Is it to come to council
or is it to be
For-
published?
For release,
Yeah.
For
Or
public
councillor
release.
English,
Yeah.
for public
public
release.
for public release. Okay, so that's been put by councillor Thompson,
just-
seconded by
yeah,
councillor Inglis.
Governor's team to get their advice.
Okay, councillor Thompson, do you want to speak to this?
I've said plenty, thank you.
Anyone like to speak, comment, question? Okay, I'll put the motion.
Yeah.
All those in favour, it's unanimous. Thank you very much, council, and thank you, councillors, for coming to yet another